we're going to begin on this National Indigenous Peoples Day with another difficult story of the historic traumas on which we report so frequently now. CBC News has learned that more women have come forward with allegations of abuse by a former priest at this Manitoba residential school. Arthur Massey was charged last week in the sexual assault of a 10-year-old girl more than 50 years ago. We begin with Karen Pauls reporting on the latest allegations, and we do want to warn you this morning, there are disturbing details in this story.
Yes, that's him. That's him.
Maureen Fontaine looks at a photo of Father Arthur Massey, the retired priest charged last week. It takes her back more than 5 decades to the time she was a student at the Fort Alexander Residential School.
And I had to go to the washroom. So the priest took me downstairs in the basement, and there was no washroom there. Did things to me that a little child shouldn't have gone through.
After years of therapy, she's finally ready to tell her story.
Fontaine has contacted the RCMP and is now waiting to hear from the lead investigator. CBC News has learned at least one other woman has also contacted police. The RCMP say several new complaints have been made since the arrest last week, and they'll follow up on each one.
So there's a sense of urgency. I would suggest that, to follow up, to pursue justice on behalf of residential school survivors before those individuals, before those perpetrators, those abusers die.
This NDP MLA is from Sagkeeng First Nation. Members of her family also attended the school.
We know that there are perpetrators of really grotesque, savage violence on the bodies of children as young as 4 or 5 who are still alive today and walk around with impunity, who have never had any semblance of punishment or consequence for their behaviors.
It has to be around here somewhere.
Back in Sagkeeng, Maureen Fontaine is looking for her father's grave in the cemetery beside the former residential school site. She says he too was a student there.
He was badly abused, very much so.
Fontaine plans to be in court next month when Massey makes his first appearance on the charge already laid. If she gets a chance to talk to him,
I would tell him how much of my life he took.
But now she's hoping to take back her life by speaking out. Karen Pauls, CBC News, Sagkeeng First Nation, Manitoba.
Now, there is support available for anyone affected by the lingering effects of residential schools and by these latest reports. A national Indian residential school crisis line has been set up offering emotional and crisis referral services. You can reach that number 24 hours a day at the number you see on your screen.